Hello everyone, I'm Eagles, the representative of Class A Group 14, also known as Dostedt, and today I'm gonna demonstrate our final project titled Kabaddi. Kabaddi is a sport that comes from India. It involves an attacking team and a defending team. Each team has an area of play. The attacking team has to tag the defending team's members and then make it back to their own territory. And the defending team tries to tackle the tagger from the attacking team so that they cannot make it back to their home territory. In Indonesia, we have a similar sport called benteng. It's basically the same thing. We took this concept and made it into a game written in assembly for AVR, using AVR Studio and Hapsim to simulate the game. We are using ATmega 8535 and a few components in Hapsim such as a 4x20 LCD, a 4x4 keypad, 5 buttons, and 2 LEDs. The concept of the game is as such. It's played by 2 players. They decide who should be player 1 and who should be player 2. For the first turn, player 1 is the attacking player and player 2 is the defending player. Both players starts at 3 HP each. After each round, the player swaps roles and the game move on until one of the player has 0 HP. Whose turn it is represented by the LED below, so you can keep track of it that way. The field of play is a 4x4 field represented as the area in the middle of the LCD, surrounded by black bars. The defending player then goes first, placing 3 traps represented as X and AD amount of points according to their HP represented as O. Both players start at 3 HP, so on the first turn you can always place 3 points. The defending player places their traps and points with the keypad. Each keypad key corresponds with a square on the field. The rule of placing traps and points is as follows. 1. You cannot place traps and or points on top of another. 2. You cannot place traps on the same column as one another. And 3. You cannot place points on the same column as one another. If you happen to break any of these rules, the game continues, but you will be penalized after you place all the traps and points, losing 1 HP. After each penalty, the round ends and the players swap roles. After the defending player places their traps and points, it's the attacking player's turn now. The attacking player cannot see the traps and points that were placed by the defending player and must now guess which square has what. The attacking player begins their turn by choosing any one of the squares on the rightmost column using the buttons. There, they will have a representation on the board as a last dance sign. After the attacking player places their player, quote-unquote, the game will check if there's any trap or point in the square that the player chose. If there's none, the game continues and the player can choose where to move next. There are 4 types of movement a player can do: forward, backward, diagonal right forward, and diagonal left forward. The player must keep moving until the player reaches the leftmost column, in which if they presses forward, they will finish that round. The buttons in Hapsim are a little finicky, so you may have to press it multiple times before it registers. If, during the placement or during the movement, the player stumbles upon a point, it will be added to their point pool, and the game continues. If the player finishes the round with 1 or more points in their point pool, the game will deduct the amount from the opposing player's health. You cannot see how many points you have in the point pool. If the player stumbles upon a trap, however, the round will end and all points in the point pool that a player may have is lost. No deduction of HP will occur. The goal of a round is to collect as much points as possible while avoiding all the traps that the defending player placed, and to get from the rightmost column of the field to the leftmost column of the field. The attacking player has 30 seconds for each movement in a round after the initial placement of the player. If the attacking player takes longer than 30 seconds to do a single movement, then the player is penalized and 1 HP is deducted from their HP pool and the round ends. After a round ends, the same process of placing points and traps is repeated, but the attacking player and the defending player swap roles. To see which player is supposed to place traps and which is supposed to guess, refer to the LED below. If any HP deduction of a player were to occur during a round, the next time said player becomes the defending player, the amount of points they will be able to place decreases, but the trap amount always stays the same. So it gets progressively harder for the attacker to guess where the defending player may have placed their points. The game will end if one of the player's HP became 0, either through penalty or through the opposing player's point gain. You can reset the game at any point using the reset button. This will take you to the beginning of the game and clear everything. You can also use this button as a rage quit button if you're feeling cheated or if you just had enough of it. You can try this game for yourself by visiting the link in the description below. While HAPSIM is included in the link, AVR Studio is not, but I've also provided a download link for AVR Studio. To play, simply double-click the .aps file, choose Build and Run, open up HAPSIM, load the XML in HAPSIM, and then back in AVR Studio, click Run. Thanks for watching. I've been Eagles and I'll see you later.